Alright, I want to tell you about something a bit different that I've done now. I reviewed a video game. This is going to be Resident Evil 3. I reviewed a show and I've played Resident Evil 2, and I came into this with quite high expectations because Resident Evil 2 was great. I really loved it. And I also really loved Resident Evil 7. I wasn't too fond on Resident Evil 8. It was a bit, it kind of lost its horror elements, and yeah, I don't think the combat was too good. But yeah, basically, the story of Resident Evil 3 is you're playing as someone called Jill Valentine, and you are a STARS member. The STARS people were going against Umbrella Corp, which released the zombie virus, and you have to fight Nemesis, which is the big bad alien thing, and you meet some cool friends along the way. Um, the story's interesting. I found it quite fun and refreshing. The one of my main problems with the game though is it's too similar to Resident Evil 2. Like, you go back into the PD, and it is literally, well, I'm talking about the Resident Evil 2 remaster here, if you can see from the title, and they literally have just copy and pasted it, and it's kind of just lazy. Like, if you put in less shambles or something, it would have been cooler. But they kind of just left it, and I was a bit sad about that. But the gameplay's fine. The gameplay's good. I feel like it was too easy. It wasn't like, well, no, too easy is a bit of an overstatement. But like, some parts were where they would just give you so much stuff, but then they would also like leave you with no stuff at points. And one of my biggest critiques of any Resident Evil game is fucking saving, man. You just have to save and save and save, and then you forget to save, and then you're like 30-40 minutes behind because you've got to save. And I was gonna pump this video out yesterday because I had almost finished the game, and then I forgot to save, and I went all the way back, and I went ballistic. It was absolutely it just angered me to my core. But another positive about the game is the graphics are really good. The graphics with the remaster, they killed it. They didn't pull back any punches, and like Red Dead Redemption remaster, that is literally just the same shit, different piss. Um, but I do have one critique about that. Some of the face movements can be weird at times, but I mean, I'm not gonna take anything off of that. It just seems like too small of a complaint. Um, the big bad guy, I'm not gonna say any spoilers because spoiler free this time. He was quite interesting. He definitely like brought something to the story, but the entire story in a as a whole didn't really seem like fun. It just kind of seemed like my well, yeah, one of my other big complaints is just this entire game feels like a DLC to Resident Evil 2 Remastered. And I think that's what they should have done. I reckon they should have shortened the game down and just stuck it on the remaster, because people can play Resident Evil 3 anyways. And just charging like, well, 50 quid for a game, 50 quid for a game that feels like a DLC is just so sad. And hang on, wait, I'll quickly check how long it took me to smash that game, because 6.2 hours. It literally took me 6 hours, and that isn't even like, I think I just sat on the loading screen for like an hour as well, like 4 hours of gameplay. It just doesn't seem worth the game. So yeah, no. Some of the small things is the puzzles can be too easy as well. Like, I think Resident Evil 2 was really good at the puzzles. I found them quite hard at times, like looking on the trophy and shit like that. But now it was like grab three medicine things and put them in the correct order, and it was literally so easy to do. Another complaint is there's this one monster which just one taps you if you in this like opening thing, but then it just doesn't do that for the rest of the game, which is weird. It's like a tough shelled monster, but yeah, it's kind of sad. But I mean, what are you gonna do about it? But going back to saying what I like about the game, Jill was really interesting, and she did just seem like a really down to earth character. She she was cool. Yeah, she was just cool. I think I like her more than the person we play as in Resident Evil 2. I literally cannot remember her name to save my life. But yeah, I think because I felt like she was too just generic woman. This Jill's definitely a step up from that. Her like friend, I forgot his name. I just played the game like literally 30 minutes ago. I forgot his name too. He was quite fun to watch. He was exciting. Um, I felt like they should have really fleshed out other characters though. It was just Jill and her like her like friend, and then all the other characters literally were on scene for like 3 minutes and then they die, or well no they don't die. Some of them just disappear. And another good thing though is that if it really does feel connected with Resident Evil 2. That's kind of like the DLC point, but I did find it fun that it's like that guy was in Resident Evil 2 and I know what happens to him. Like I thought that was so fun. Um yeah, no, some of the I like the guns are fun, but they are just a copy and paste Resident Evil 2, so it's kind of just cliff notes of what I like from that. And yeah, Nemesis is really, really, really cool. I've always loved Nemesis as a character, and I remember buying Resident Evil 2 thinking he was in it, and then I found out he wasn't after finishing the game, and I just instantly bought Resident Evil 3 for it. But yeah, no, definitely the highlight of the game. If I would have to give this a game review, I give it a 70%. I think it was fun. I definitely would play it again. Yeah. So that's all I have for you today. I bet.